Hello, boys and girls. It's me, Yoshi here, and welcome back to your 100% trying to get this game done playthrough, better known as my 100% playthrough of Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition for Nintendo Switch. In the last video, we did Twilight Midna's challenge mode, and oh boy, look who's next. We get to play Young Link, the most broken character in this game by far. Infinite magic, infinite side magic, and pretty much all the other stuff. Oh, speaking of which, I completely forgot to do a Smithy section, because it's been so long since we've played him. We've forgotten what to do here. As you can see, we were doing a little bit of grinding off Hammer. And during one of these grinds, we said, I think at one point, that he did not have hasty attacks on. Well, he just got it now in this video, so got it just in time for the last time that we're going to use Young Link. So now, oh, actually, one thing I am gonna do, because this is gonna bother me if it's gonna get weird. We need to sell these weapons that aren't inflamed. Simply because I have so many weapons already that I'm gonna get really confused if I accidentally pick the wrong weapon a bunch. Normally this game has a cursor over to tell you that, oh, this is the weapon that you picked before, so this is the one you should select, but it doesn't always do that. So because of that, yeah, I've had to delete all those weapons, so that's fine. We don't need legendary or anything else, we just need to get out the other stuff and we should be fine. Annoyingly enough, to do this first part, we're gonna have to actually small form a little bit longer since you can only do the multi-hits later. But anyways, if you're wondering why Young Link is broken, well, the ability will show you later, will show you why he's broken. Basically, as long as he gets the right sap, he'll stay in magic pretty much indefinitely. The only exception being, he has to make sure that he constantly fights enemies to build up a special gauge. But basically, this gives him two outs though. Combined with either Special Fountain Blush or Magic Fountain Blush, he can stay in magic for a very long time. And he can use it for multiple things. In fact, if he does it with Special Fountain Blush, can technically rapid fire even more magic because he can just basically his standing special is by far the most broken of all the characters. He literally changes all of his special bar into Focus Spirit bar instead, which is very broken because it means that he can basically get magic super fast. The reason why it's so broken is because, well, that basically gives us, as long as we are following the route, infinite fairy magic uses for fast A ranks, infinite uses if for some reason we had to do a challenge like this, which you have to have, and I guess more importantly, more importantly, and yes, we are freezing the timer, sort of. The timer doesn't actually start until a certain, so if you, basically the moment enemies spawn, if you are attacking them, you will still be getting moves there. I think that's the only you can consistently get A rank in this. I think we want to use exactly one of these, just so we have enough things defeated to receive reinforcements early. want to do the rest of the special. The big difference is this time instead of doing no, so I'm gonna do at least the first part of the special. Part of the reason I didn't do it before is because, like I said, this area is kind of annoying for grinding special attacks. They are really spread out, so it makes it really hard to actually get them. Which makes this by far the hardest goal in the game. It's actually probably the one thing you would fail the special on, especially if you didn't have Special Fountain Plus. Because originally there was no fairy magic, so the way you would actually have to do this is go around, slowly captains. If you're underleveled, they would take forever. And yeah, that would just make it terrible. Of course, again, it doesn't really... Game doesn't really care about that. You just need to do enough damage. That's all you need to do to get the AA. And here's the broken trick I mentioned. So yeah, you literally just do that, bam, instant focus spirit. You can do this as many times as you want, so as long as you have a special attack page, you can do this as long as you want. And you can do it in the actual magic mode as well. By doing that, yeah, we pretty much can get infinite magic. Also, because his attacks are already pretty fast, it's fastest actually not to use all using the radius. It's faster to just use these because they already take out most enemies in one hit. That way you can get some ranged mills and get this done as fast as possible. But yeah, we just do this at least once and bam, all the magic goes back to us. Don't even have to get it up to full, as long as we have at least some so that we can just keep going for a really long time. Limiting factor is how fast we can actually fill up our special page. It's normally set up in a way where it'll end after a certain point, but if you have a lot of enemies to take out, then you can just keep refilling it over and over again. That's how we destroy the game as you might. It's gonna be very broken though, just you wait, because so as long as we have a good special attack range set up, we can pretty much defeat every enemy almost instantly. Alright. This will initially started off a little bit cheap there, but we were able to get through that pretty easily. We got a little bit slow by the way towards the end of that Magic Fountain Plus thing, but again, it's a little bit tricky to do properly anyway. Also didn't even use Magic Fountain Plus, we used the Magic Trait with Young Link instead. He almost, he even wanted to stay invisible for quite a while there. Well, that went a lot better than I expected. The juggling. Go ahead and show this right off the bat. I like this trick they might have met. Alrighty. That was probably one of the longer fights we had, but then again, in general, this is already the harder of the challenges simply because of how deep it is. to actually go around and defeat that many enemies with special attacks when they're so spread out already as it is. That's what makes it so hard. This is the real fun battle, though, where it gets interesting, because Youngling can really annihilate troops in here. He will probably have the skill right. On top of that, he himself has a pretty easy skill ratio. So much so we don't even need magic to do it. So, just to prove my point, I won't even use magic. You can still these weak points and count it pretty easily. It's pretty much the only combo you have to do. Yeah, already killed it down. Did not take long at all. Go ahead and beat some of these enemies while we're waiting for others to show up. Well, that was fast. Didn't take that on up here at all. As you'd say, the attack goes out pretty fast. Just spamming that combo is barely enough to take them out. And whenever we go into magic, it's even better. Speaking of which. Let's do that, and now we get to use our magic. This is where we get really broken. We could also use this to quickly smash his weak points too. But we'll go ahead and chill that out later. All we really need to do is just pay attention to our magic there. When it gets close to running out, we can just special to do a standing special. That's all we need to do, and it refills all of our magic up. Standing special meaning I don't press any other buttons and just do the strong attack button next. Speaking of which, somebody mentioned that that Sia thing when you tall or whatever, doing a strong attack is what triggers that bar, and that actually makes her attacks do a lot of damage for a while. So I might try using that when I get to her storyline later, because we do still have to do. So we'll probably show that off at some point. Other than that, I've basically just been kind of doing it at random for the most part. I believe in some cases it can also make it interruptible. In fact, I think it straight up does. So I haven't played the game enough to remember that, but I do know at very least that they do quite a bit more damage. So if we want to do the optimal damage, theoretically we could have been much sooner by first popping that and then already strong as it is. This makes her even more broken. That's why Sia is one of the best characters in this game. Why am I saying that? Because we're not even playing as her, we're playing as Youngling. I delayed that for a bit because our special gear wasn't full. For those of you who don't know, by the way, you always use your special gear first with Youngling. Now, if I have any tip for you guys trying to try and do this naturally, don't use the magic unless you absolutely need it. Youngling, you pretty much just want to make sure you find using that. That's how you're going to get your magic back most of the time. When you no longer have full magic and consistently get it, that's when you want to start picking up the magic from Tins and also the full magic from everyone else. Other than that, we're just trying to defeat all the captains just to make sure we're getting all the experience we can. As for the actual attack combo, well, I guess there's other stuff. Yeah, there's that, I guess. Trying to show off some of these attacks. These are different, by the way, if you way to very unlike. That's probably the best way I can take out captains. Actually decent timing for that up here. We were about to get close to the end anyway. Biggest worry with Young Link, honestly, is defeating so many troops that we pretty much run out of troops to do, and we can no longer do the special trick anymore. And then we could always just pick up special recharges if we happen to see any. That's another good thing, is not only magic recharges work, but special charges work as well, because you can just waste them to use other stuff. I will say for Young Link, except for specific scenarios where we may magic to quickly get out of there so we can do more interesting stuff, I think we're gonna try our best to make sure that we are constantly in this magic for it. That's by far the best way to defeat enemies. The only time you won't be is when we're doing like different challenges, specifically like the next one that's coming out for the SPA or enemies. That one's better for us to just use magic on, but the other one is a little bit different. So yeah, that's what we'll try and do then. Not gonna lie, I'm very excited to finally play Young Link again. I was using him a lot in most of the early game because he is by far the most broken and easiest character to play as. He can destroy almost everything. So it's pretty easy to the game with Young Link. And in story mode, if you selected Legend mode, if you selected free play, you can technically play him in every map, even when you have to do like a hard challenge. The only requirement is you first pick the character that must get the hard move challenge done, then just switch to a different character instead. Use that character instead, and with Young Link, yeah, you could just give him magic and then use him for pretty much the entire map. It's very broken. This is why I think Young Link is by far the best character. For other stuff, there are some other characters that could theoretically say that they're but I think for me, however, Young Link is by far typically the best character. Almost everything going for him. Fast attacks, good damage on bosses, a strong magic beater, and a really good way to stay in magic that no other character can do. I really just did that because I was bored my way. I had to wait for these guys to show up anyways, otherwise they weren't going to do any magic. Don't be sorry you made Link angry. Link, show them your angry side. So that's it's like when you get annoyingly enough, the special fountain version of this guy is a lot slower than just using the regular magic strategy. And for a good reason, because it does take a few minutes to actually inject the magic. It's probably easier to just do that. Oh, I'm gonna do the alternate. Yeah, that's all we need to do, and then we can just do magic here instead. I also did that because there was already a fox going in the background, so if we did it early, we would waste even more time. So by timing that right, I think we actually got a faster than the last time. That was mostly because I straight up didn't have a lot of Yeah, 150, probably one of our faster times yet. Oh wow, it actually equals what we got with Wizrow, and there were a few people that got 150 and 151s, but this is only the second time I've gotten a 150 on that. Yes, I'm keeping track of speedrun times in case you're wondering. Not for records or any reason, just so I could see who has the fastest time and who was easiest to play in each level overall, at least from the tries that I did. Anyway, now we get to do the boss strategy. If you guessed that there's gonna be an interesting boss strategy as Young Link, well, you're pretty much right on. Heck, we don't even need Special Fountain with Young Link. Instead of doing that very weird strategy, we could just do this instead. It's probably even more broken. All you do is just 2 combo, try and get right close to the boss's face, and yeah, you pretty much smash the points immediately. And it's way faster than what we were doing previously. And whenever you don't want to go out, you can either waste it on a random enemy, or you can just do this instead. And smash a different enemy's weak point. Whenever you pop out, you can either begin again, or since I want to actually use magic, I could do it differently. But I think for now we'll do this. Okay, well, he's still gonna yeah, this is the other strat. We can just keep smashing him down as well. I was actually hoping to smash both of their weaknesses simultaneously. Unfortunately, the other one didn't have to take it out in time. Probably because they were spread out a bit too much. But yeah, that's just an alternate cool strategy we can do as Young Link, which means we pretty much don't have to use specials at all. Instead, we just try to AoE down and smash them together. If you time it right, too, you can also hit them down, multiple of them at once with the Skulltulas thing as well. That's literally something you can do. Because that range is so massive, we can just smash everything down very quickly. This is only 1,000 troops. I keep thinking it's 1,500 for some reason. Alright. Well, because that part... think all... what am I saying? I think we'll probably do most of this challenge pretty easily, but so far from this battle, it seems like it's take a little bit longer to take out the bosses, but not by much. Of course, in order to get this setup to work, we have to actually hit all the bosses together, and hitting 3 bosses at once is a little bit tough. I'll say that much. It was still at least somewhat fast, just not as fast as it could have been. Alright, 1,500 enemies now. Remember, we're not using our anti-boss formula until later, because we don't want to waste time. Oh, also potentially have bonds materials, because then we'd have to grind those, and that would be bad. If I need to, I will spend more giant boost battles again, just to get that done. Ideally, we'd actually smash the bosses down together. I just had to do it differently, because as you know, Game the Dunkle is a very tough boss. Never likes to play by the rules at all. Speaking of, also who doesn't like to play by the rules is the Iron Thief. Get a chance to do anything, he just literally need point smash me immediately. He would get up, so that means we have to waste our magic early again. Really, on this next one, we would normally just magic and then have the other stuff. Check out it now, finally says that he stole the moves. He was already almost. That's how I was taking him down there. Alright, whatever. Okay, well, since I no longer have moves, I think I need to actually attack enemies for a bit. Ideally, we'd want to also take out enemies while still on this farm. The problem is, it's kind of tough to do. I'll stay in magic form for forever, as long as you can. Alright, at least give me this knockdown, please. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay, that still works, apparently. So either the food combo or can work just fine, which is nice. Okay, a big difference this time around is we did clear a lot more troops early on just due to us flashing a lot randomly. It's one thing I added in that we didn't do the last attempt that we did this. A little bit more. There we go. Just missing a little bit there. In hindsight, we also could have just used Magic Plus, but we were also in Magic form already. Focus Spear, also known as Focus Spear. So yeah, that wouldn't work. Bit odd you can't use Fairy Magic while also in Focus Magic, but it makes sense. Because in Focus Spirit, I keep saying Focus Magic by the way, so Focus Spirit, I get the two mixed up. I am about ready to say Fairy Magic, and then I try to say Focus Spirit, and end up saying Focus Magic instead. So weird. Anyway, let's anti-boss part of this down, shall we? Yeah, we should have plenty to go through. I'm a bit worried. Maybe on the last battles, when we get close, we could start doing it on every battle again towards the end. But anyways, we're using Anti-Warrior here simply because the battle is really rough without it. It's mainly the last battles we want to do it on more than anything. Normally, these guys are kind of spread out, so I'm gonna have to. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna have to take them out one at a time. They're already too spread out. Being so down, he's not even approaching me. And see what happens. So we are using a special once just to make sure nothing happens. Since it is only about 4 to 5 bosses, maybe we could save time by doing an ultra mode. I've decided for the rest of this part, I'm gonna focus on dealing with the hard rocks instead. Because we're already pretty fast at taking out bosses. Why not just focus on Doma Here, that's good. Well, so we do not take it out right away. And then the use the Ardrox to get our remaining forces instead. I think previously I skipped this because I thought this would be really awkward to deal with. But I think if we could deal with them faster, it would be nice. Trying to actually get an overkill. If you're wondering why I betrayed a bit, I wanted to get an overkill on that fast. Which is basically another word for defeating the boss without it ever even revealing the 2 point smash. Because that is, we might have to just probably better than nothing now. So this is probably the safer strategy you would do. Both because these guys are, you don't have to go as far out of your way to do it. The problem is you cannot do grinding like you could on the other part. Whether or not this is actually faster really just depends on how you think, what you think is the more consistent path. This path is a bit more consistent, and this is probably what I would do if I was low level, simply because you fight only no more than 2 enemies at once doing this route, whereas previously you would have to fight 3 to 4 enemies at once. That pretty much only works if you otherwise throw special attacks into them, or just have a bunch of magic elements. So for this, otherwise you're just gonna take a lot of damage and it's simply not gonna be worth it. However, it's faster simply because we can take out enemies together. So I am gonna now compare this to my other vids, although it's a bit awkward to compare with Yen Ming, who does have to unfortunately smash each of them one at a time, despite having Jetlet. So he doesn't have a good strategy. Would probably be like the most sense is play the same character, compare the 2 different routes and see which time ends up being faster. But basically, yeah, that video I just showed you, that is basically what you would do if you were low level and didn't want to deal with the manhandlers. You can just do this instead. It's way easier, you only attack no more than 2 bosses at once, and you can always just make them both down if they really need to, and that's probably the easiest way to deal with that. Oh, okay, I guess I should probably actually check this then. So the Kuchai was 316. Okay, so it's about balance. It really just depends on the way the character works. I think if you don't have a good special, doing this route would be significantly faster, because, like, so Ganondorf took really on this. I think that was doing the other route, and just spamming specials. It took a pretty long time. Whereas the other route is technically faster by seconds, but only if you have a good special to actually use. So yeah, the other route is faster only if you have a good AoE to use. I think I'll just do the other route though from now on, because I like that strat. It's just so goofy. You take out literally 3 bosses simultaneously, and sometimes a 4th if you're lucky. And then you just ignore Goma and the other people, and you just basically everything. I did that a bit differently though, because I think normally Ardrox doesn't even appear in half of the time. There we go. We're not going to be using Magic Fountain this time, so we'll take these guys out one at a time here. I think so far Manandal has actually been the worst for I'd say for getting back up in time. I think it's for some reason she seems to be really tanky trying to sash her peace point sometimes, and then other times it's super easy. I don't get it. Timed that right. actually got in time. About what you want to see. Anyways, as you might guess, Young Link's dive will be pretty easy to deal with. Big difference is we can't just go into magic right away, necessarily. He was still lucky when I was doing the attack, so again, it missed automatically. For those of you who don't know that's not a weird bug. Apparently, if the boss is not attacking or doing something, the attack always misses. It's really strange and really dumb, but that's a thing that happens. And then once he's in an animation, as we attack him, he'll get knocked down no matter what. I was supposed to be very easy, and I kind of messed up by accidentally using a strat attack there. I think I accidentally thought I was ready to use magic or something. I'm waiting to mess that up, I'll say that much. Alright, well, eventually we'll have to use our magic fountain a little bit earlier, or not. Right as I do it, please now he opens his mouth. Alright, I'm still gonna do magic, I'm just gonna do it later now. Steal item thieves and just stealing my bounds or cheating and stealing stuff from their way again. Oh yeah, I didn't use magic against all those ever opponents, by the way. Because I figured it would just be slower to do that. This summoner we want to keep alive, because that's how we get more troops to appear. Because they'll summon others near me, which will then follow me around, and then I can shoot those guys to make this go a lot faster. Even stronger when we're in magic form, so probably what makes sense is going in probably work best for taking out those enemies all at once. The only problem is to set it up correctly instead of doing the normal magic strat. I would have to hit multiple of them with this. And we use this early because we have much magic left already. This is a really good magic strat, I'll say that much. Have to block. Wait for him to finally stop being G. This is what I mean by you want to always do go more consistently, because if you fail, he becomes the most annoying boss because he seems to always like doing stuff instead of really his weak point. Looking really good either. Let's go back into magic before we do the next battle. But maybe not right away, of course. We want to wait a bit first. Yeah, wait for him to do that. Again, I did the wrong thing, but this time it doesn't really matter. Don't want to use a strat attack without doing anything when I don't have much magic here, especially not when attacking a boss. It really doesn't do any damage. Again, all it does is make magic last longer, which is good normally, but not during this scenario when I'm trying to do the other setup, which I'm about to do right now because, yeah, I just realized this boss, so yeah, you know what to expect by now. See you guys when the timer is concluded and with the battle as well. Yeah. Alright, just in time. Yeah, I actually timed that better than expected. The timer has concluded, as you can see, and with it, the battle as well. I decided to wait a bit longer there simply because we were already almost about to finish that, so just to wait a little bit longer there. And also because I needed to get that magic, or else I could have wasted more time by waiting for the magic to finish off. Anyway, as for Young Link's max level, he is one level away from that. We should probably get it in this battle, so as long as we do it right. Not gonna lie, I don't like how the setup has been going, so we might do this a little bit differently. See, this is what I mean by them not recognizing us. So we pretty much have to go outside if we want and just instantly. That wasn't that hard, right? Alright, here's the biggest difference. We're gonna magic fountain here. Extreme Crush exactly one time, and then after Extreme Crush, immediately go into magic, and then try to use this to beat all the enemies. The reason I didn't do it before is because Ganon simply not open his mouth half of the time. So when that part comes around, I'll just do that part normal Young Link instead, or use magic to smash their weak points quickly. Otherwise, these enemies we can just take out the normal way we usually do. Deal with them. He was pretty much enveloped entirely in the wall there. Like I said, this game is kind of buggy. It can just be really weird. Anyways, this initially seems to waste a bit more time, but with both fast animation speeds and the fact that Young Link just does way more damage to points while in this form, is very worth it to be in magic whenever you can. The only times you really do not want to be in magic is when you're trying to smash other points, or, for instance, like fighting King Dodongo, and King Dodongo is super annoying to fight normally. You'll want to take out him first because he's. That was close. We actually almost let Magic Beat steal, and we do actually have magic, so. Or stolen it, he would have made us lose our magic early. Which was bad. Okay, alright, well, now we survived one. Let's go now and defeat the last Star Dragon. Since you're gonna take a bit, let's do this while we wait. And yes, that thing isn't a damaging hitbox, but it does apparently interrupt your attacks. Star Dragon has the power to cheat interrupt our attack and death, but it doesn't actually do any damage. It's the point that does damage. So now, so as long as I survive up to a certain point, I should also be able to use our magic armor instead of here. As long as I survive up to when up here, we can just attack them normally. Which here they come. This character, by the way, especially when you do not have any magic, is by far the easiest character to speedrun with at first, because I remember. Because you can just use magic to make the enemy well, it's by far the best way to do that. Before that, all the other characters would have to actually find magic, which could be quite tedious. Given it is easier in this battle to find magic, since you can get a ton of it as drops, and yep, by the way, we're already max level. That did not take long at all. Just the starter way, actually make sure King Dodongo is attacking you first. Sometimes it takes a really long time. It's a really long time you occasionally have to delay. Yeah, arcs. long as we can get this in Sicily, we're fine. We only really need to do this against Dongo and partially Manhandle as well, though Manhandle is a bit more annoying to do without the magic, so that one we might have to just magic then back into Focus Spirit again. Rather, Focus Spirit, then get back into Focus Spirit again. Seriously, I'm right here. Idiot Dodongo here, not being insane in front of his face. I think he'd be smarter than that. I guess he has turned around, but like, I think he would notice you right away, usually. Once the arrow one finally did the play of that tap, see what I mean? They always open their mouth when you do not expect it. Particularly when you're not ready to attack them. That's the only time they actually do it, half the time. That was just in time. And yes, it's when they're in their idle animation. If they are idling, that's when it fails to happen. Okay, I knew something bad happened here, so I had to use this actually here. We're surprisingly consistent with this until then. Yeah, I had to use a satchel there because we were not past that. Okay, so that time it went way faster. Used one magic fountain plus, why not? We only have one left, but we won't need it probably, because remember, we are Young Link. We can stay in there for a very long time. And now that that's done, let's do something here. I thought that was the summoner. Whatever, I'll defeat the summoner on screen. So yeah, we'll set this guy around maybe one more time. And then, yeah, I'll see you once again when the timer is concluded, and with it, the battle as well. See ya. Alrighty, guys. I've seen guys. The timer is concluded, and with it, the battle as well. So now there's only one more brave battle left. Then we are finished with the first part of this video, and the first part of Young Link's Challenge Mode as well. And then we'll move on to the survival battles next video. But first we have to actually do that challenge. Wonder how fast this is gonna be now. Because this one we already have to use Magic Fountain to weaken the enemies, because they're simply too strong to take out. But I wonder if we could just Magic Fountain through us instead. That's what I'm really interested in finding out. So you know what, I'm gonna do the partial strategy at first, but I'm gonna change how I do it a little bit. Because they're probably gonna run otherwise, we're gonna use this right away so they both fall down. But then I'm gonna go straight into this form and just attack from there and see if that works. If you're wondering why we're doing this so early, it's for a good reason. The Redeads will immobilize us constantly and make this battle way more aggravating than it needs to be. The way to stop that is to do stuff instead. Also, another reason why I did it now and not later is because they'll just be really hard to take out. But right now, these Ardrox are consistent, so we can just put them down normally, and then we can just bash them like we would anything else. This one's gonna be longer no matter what, though, at least at the start, because there's a lot more in it to deal with. I know I could take out at least one of you, usually. They actually attack. He was so dumb that the next one to the side of him attacked, but not the actual blow that we were going for. What the heck? Dude, that wasted so much time. We're already almost out of magic. Okay, we're gonna have to get Transport Captain defeated on the way as soon as possible. We're magic from this, which we did. Take this. Allow us to stay in magic long enough to actually hit this enemy. Oh yeah, out more magic too, because we didn't even get the enemies in time. Hey, guess what? We don't have to actually use Magic Fountain on them anymore. Might not be. Oh, what am I doing? Completely forgot what I was. There we go. I'm just gonna run out of that. I deserve all that. I was trying to use Magic Fountain still to kill, but I guess it works. We still not kill. It was just a bit longer than yeah, our magic was not in that time, but we did get full magic there. So essentially you need to stay in full magic here, and that's the fastest way to deal with this challenge, this mode. We'll just be magicking up more earlier then, which is nice. The reason why we're not using more magic fountains is simply because we're not enough time to use them otherwise. Hey, stop turning around, Goma. I'm right here, you idiot. Look at this idiot Goma here, again, completely not recognizing where I was. If there's anything that they're gonna change about this game, at least make the points see you more instantly, like lock onto your friend instead of running it lane. Now I get if they get if like they're far away. If you're far away, they're not going to behave normally. But if at least somewhat close, they should recognize you much sooner. You know, like I bet you $5 or $15. I think people played Dynasty Warriors enough to literally go. I bet there's probably people that have played this game. And then go into Dynasty Warriors and walk up to Cucco or whoever it is the chief character and be like, oh, well, knowing the bot, he's probably not going to recognize me around. And then all of a sudden he turns around and immediately because, yeah, that guy, even on easy, he just destroy you pretty quickly. I bet you $5, that's probably what happened to everyone who played the game. So I'm like, they tried walking up to a captain thinking they wouldn't attack immediately, and nope, instead they pretty much immediately ended. I will say that series is the actual Dynasty Warriors series plus Hyrule Warriors series is probably way harder than this game ever will be. Then again, this game was kind of designed with the casual people in mind, whereas the other one was designed with more hardcore people in mind. So it certainly has its hard challenges here and there. Rough sometimes. If you wonder why I'm not playing it, is it would not work well for this channel, I think. But I guess you guys can let me know if you want to go into it. The only problem is it isn't available on the Switch right now, so we'd have to play on the PS5 or on PC to really do it consistently. But yeah, there's gonna be way more time for that later, because we have to actually finish this game first before we do that. Oh, really? I defeated them all, but there's one left. Just one left. Got all the hands, but exactly one. Missed out too. So I'm just trying to get magic. I'm just gonna do this. I don't know why I'm not playing this so gosh, Van Endel, I'm right here. Lost my patience. I'm attack them now. Finally make them reveal their weak point. Wait, that was the wrong attack. I should have just used the special there. I don't know what I'm thinking. Yeah, I deserve that. That was really bad. So I guess I'm just gonna... Oh, this guy's also somehow. Alright, we're at it. We're gonna do this stupid strat now. When I mean by stupid strat, I mean we're gonna... Basically now, with Magic Fountain Plus, we're gonna... weaken the enemy with Focus Spirit, and then immediately attack him again. As if nothing changed. yeah. So that's how broken you have like can sometimes be. You can pretty much just go into magic, then blow magic to reveal the enemy's weak point right away. Gosh, just hit them. It's that simple. Right in their face. Just hit them. That's all you have to do, young lady. Oh wow, I'm right on the other side of the Hyrule Peninsula. So we really just teleport to their backside whenever we do this. So weird. Hey, stop running away from me. I'm right here. Okay, I at least got one of them down. I don't have full edge, so I'm not sure if this will actually take them out or not. Funnily enough, we're only now to the 10-minute mark, so we may still have time and we're still somehow making good progress. Now this is Mandandela, he's a lot tougher. I think we just have to do this, and then when we get close, we just need to special once. It'll simply knock him down in their eyes. Alright. It's about the same time, I guess. It's only because I messed that up. If I had not messed that up, I would have probably defeated them with 7 minutes till to spare. Anyways, yeah. Forget talking about Dynasty Warriors. We have this game to conquer first before we even think about that series, but we'll see. I know I haven't money, so spent that for quite some time. Also, with the challenge, it is a little bit complicated compared to this. At least with this, you know, it's easy, but it is surprising. But anyway, I guess it could be worse if you are technically true for every Dynasty Warriors as well, so yes, there is that, but forget that talk. I'll see you guys when the timer's concluded with the battle as well. Alrighty guys, this is how there we finished it off with a magic bib, but yeah, the timer is concluded with the battle as well, which means part 1 of Young Link's challenge mode has been completed. Which means we then get to do the second part in the next video, which is we have to go and do the survival battles. Yeah, that's right. Sorry, I keep forgetting off the top of the head what they are, but yeah, we have to do the survival battles next time. Other than that, we did Young Link's first part of challenge mode, and now we're gonna do his second part. Almost said her for a second. His challenge mode in the second part in the next video. Until then, see you guys later. Comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.